So I'm about to go on vacation for a week and a half, and I wanted to show you guys the brushes I'm bringing with me. I am bringing an entire brush roll of brushes because I have a problem and I have too many brushes, but this is what I use on an everyday basis. And this is not all my brushes by any means. I need to fix that. Oops. This is not all my brushes by any means. This is just a small, I don't know, a fifth of them. These are the ones that I'm bringing on my trip. Most of my brushes are either Sigma or MAC. I like Sigma brushes. I think they're a good price, and MAC brushes because I have a pro discount pretty much. I think they're very similar. A lot of people try to rag on some Sigma brushes and say that they're not as good and it's just because people are getting paid to review them. I've never been paid to review anything. And honestly, I think my Sigma brushes shed less than my MAC ones do. Honestly, right now, this is MAC. This is one of the only MAC brushes I have in my kit right now. And this looks like a hot mess and everything else looks fine. Okay, so the first brush I'm taking with me is my MAC 286. And this is the special limited edition duo fiber one that came out with the Naturally collection, I believe. I mean, this will be fine. I just need to wet it and reshape it, which I will do right after this video. And I'm bringing this for my crease color. The next brush I have is my Sigma Round Top Kabuki F82, and I'm bringing this for my liquid foundation. I'm bringing two different liquid foundations, one that I'm going to apply with this, the other I will bring my Beauty Blender for. I really like my Beauty Blender, especially for like sheerer foundations. It's still wet, you can hear it. It's like wet and fuzzy from last time I washed it. I also apply my concealer with this. So then I have my Sigma Large Powder F20 just for setting powder. I've been using my MAC MSF Natural as a setting powder. I just use a very, very little bit of it just to keep my foundation on longer. Next I have my Sigma Duo Fiber F50, and this is actually my favorite brush for blush. So I'll bring probably a couple, like one warm, one cool blush with me, and use this to apply it. I hate having my brushes in a brush roll because I'm always worried that like this is gonna happen. But normally they're okay. This is one of my MAC brushes. This is a MAC 109. One of the things I don't like about MAC brushes is that this is a pretty new brush and the numbers always wear off. Like my older MAC brushes, there's no numbers left on them. This I am bringing for my highlight. Next I have my Sigma Large Angled Contour F40, which is a fluffy angled contour brush, and surprise, surprise, I'm going to use it for my contour color. I normally use the Chanel Tan Chanel for my bronzer, and I use it with this brush, but I think I'm going to bring a powder like MAC Harmony just for ease of travel because the Chanel bronzer is in this huge glass container, so I don't think I'm going to bother with that. This is my Sigma Large Fluff F50, and this is my absolute favorite brush for applying a highlight to my brow bone. I normally like have a set of brushes where I like wash one, dry one, and this is the only brush I have of this particular one, and I always get annoyed when it's wet because I don't like any of my other brushes really to apply highlight to the brow bone because they're not big enough. I have large eyes, so I really like this brush. Next I have one of the Sigmax, the little Sigmax brushes, the mini ones, and this is the Precision Tapered P86, and I'm bringing this for concealer if I don't want to use my Beauty Blender, like an alternative, because some concealers I like to and some I don't. It just depends on my mood. So this is a great concealer brush, gets really great under the eye and around the nose, which is where I normally apply concealer. Next I have another one of those Precision Sigmex brushes, and this is the Precision Round P82, and I bring this to apply my Painterly Paint Pot, which is my everyday primer. It's funny because people always say that Painterly, like, that it apparently isn't supposed to be a base. Well, it's supposed to be a base, not a primer. I always use it as a primer. I've never had anything crease on me, so it works. Next I have one of the Sigma Bunny brushes, which I absolutely love. This is the Tapered Blending E40. This is great for like that buddy color when I do my eyes. It also can be good for applying like a setting powder under the eye, like Powder Flage, and it can be good for crease. If you want more of a blended out crease, I actually like using a brush like this. Next I have my Sigma Blending E25. This is one of those famous MAC brushes like the 217, I believe, which I also have. But it's very, very old. It's like 15 years old. This is my favorite brush for putting shadow on the lid. It's a very multi-purpose brush. Like if I really wanted to downsize, I could get rid of some of my other eye brushes and just bring this, but I really just prefer using it on the lid. I'm bringing my Sigma Flat Definer E15 to do my waterline and tightline. I haven't really figured out any other brush that works for me to do my waterline and tightline. Because this is already packed, I didn't want to get it dirty. I used my MAC, my flip does not like to focus. I used my MAC 266 this morning to waterline and tightline, and it really irritated my eyes. I'm so used to using that Sigma one, I don't even know what else to use. Next I have I have no clue how to get this flip to focus. My Short Shader E20 from Sigma, and I use this for my inner corner highlight. Then I have my MAC 219. It's a pencil brush. I do sometimes use it in inner corner highlight, but I also use it to put color under my eye, under my lower lash line, basically to line with shadow. And then lastly, I have one of these Sigma Tapered Blending E40. To me, this is just like a go-to brush for everything. You can do your entire eye with it if you really need to. I'm bringing it mostly to do my under eye setting powder, like a Powder Flage. But I couldn't really go without one, even though that Sigma Bunny one I showed you is pretty much the same thing. The only other things I'll be bringing as far as like brush goes is the Beauty Blender, which I showed you, and then I'll also bring a little bit of my homemade brush cleanser that is the Encore recipe, which you can find on his website and his videos. And I'm gonna bring a little bit of my Olay dishwasher dish soap, which is my favorite for the brushes because it's very moisturizing, but it still has that like really cleansing dish soap property. So I'll bring that to clean my brushes. Let me know if you'd like to see a makeup I'm bringing. I know probably almost no one watches my videos, but if anybody does and is interested in seeing my travel makeup, let me know. Thanks, bye.